Karmas lead to reincarnation. Reincarnation means going around. As the wheel turns around. The state of transmigration or samsara, where beings repeat cycles of birth and death according to the law of karma. What happens to us after death? Buddhism teaches that we remain for some time in the state of intermediate existence in this world after death. And when this time is over, in accordance with the karma that we have accumulated in our previous life, we are reborn in another appropriate world. Buddhism also divides this other world into the following realms: hell, hungry ghosts, animals, demons, human beings, heavens, Sravakas, Pratyabuddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Buddhas. If we die in an unenlightened state, our minds' consciousnesses will return to the former state of ignorance, and we will be reborn in the 6 worlds of illusion and suffering, and will again reach old age and death through the stages mentioned above. And we will repeat this round over and over to an indefinite time. This perpetual repetition of birth and death is called transmigration. But if we purify our minds by hearing the Buddha's teachings and practicing the Bodhisattva way, the state of ignorance is annihilated, and our minds can be reborn in a better world. So, whether the world is samsara or nirvana depends entirely on our state of mind. If our mind is enlightened, then this world is nirvana. If our mind is unenlightened, then this world is samsara. Thus the Buddha taught, for those who strive to cultivate, samsara is nirvana. Nirvana is samsara. According to Abhidharma, there are at least 16 types of karma that cause beings to reincarnate and to repeat cycles of birth and death. There are 4 kinds of karmas by time of ripening. First, immediately effective karma according to the Abhidharma. Immediately effective karma is a karma which, if it is to ripen, must yield its results in the same existence in which it is performed. Otherwise, if it does not meet the opportunity to ripen in the same existence, it becomes defunct. This karma is divided into 2 parts. The result of a good karma reaped in this life. In the Buddhist legends, there is a story about the result of a good karma reaped in this life. At the time of the Buddha, a couple of husband and wife, who possessed only one upper garment to wear when they went outdoor. One day the husband heard the Dharma from the Buddha, and was so pleased with the doctrine that he wished to offer his only upper garment to the Buddha. But his innate greed would not permit him to do so. He combated with his mind and, eventually overcoming his greed, offered the garment to the Buddha and exclaimed, "I have one, I have one." Upon learning this story, the king was so delighted, and in appreciation of his generosity, the king presented him with 32 robes. The devout husband kept one for himself, and another for his wife, and offered the rest to the Buddha. And the order, the result of a bad karma reaped in this life. Also in the Buddhist legends, there is a story about the result of a bad karma reaped in this life. At the time of the Buddha, there was a hunter who went hunting to the forest, followed by his dogs, met by the wayside a monk, who was proceeding on his alms round. As the hunter could not procure any game, he thought it was due to the unfortunate meeting of the monk. While returning home, he met the same monk, and was deeply engraved at this second encounter. In spite of the entreaties of the innocent monk, the hunter set the dogs on him. Finding escape therefrom, the monk climbed a tree. The wicked hunter ran up the tree, and pierced the soles of the monk's feet with the point of an arrow. The pain was so excruciating that the robe the monk was wearing fell upon the hunter, completely covering him. The dogs, thinking that the monk had fallen from the tree, devoured their own master. Second, subsequently effective karma. According to the Abhidharma, subsequently effective karma is a karma which, if it is to ripen, must yield its results in the existence immediately following that in which it is performed. Otherwise, it becomes defunct. An example of Upapajavadania. A millionaire's servant returned home in the evening, after his laborious work in the field, to see that all were observing the 8 precepts, as it was the full moon day. Learning that he also could observe them even for half a day, he took the precepts and fasted at night. Unfortunately, he died on the following morning, and as a result of his good action was born as a deva. Another good example of subsequently effective karma. Ajatasattu, son of King Bimbisara, was born immediately after his death, in a state of misery as the result of killing his father. Third, indefinitely effective karma. According to the Abhidharma, indefinitely effective karma is a karma which can ripen at any time from the second future existence onwards, whenever it gains an opportunity to produce results. It never becomes defunct so long as the round of rebirth continues. No one, not even a Buddha or an arahant, is exempt from experiencing the results of indefinitely effective karma. No one is exempt from this class of karma. Even the Buddhas and arahants may reap the effects of their past karma. Arahant Moggallana in the remote past, instigated by his wicked wife, attempted to kill his mother and father. As a result of this, he suffered long in a woeful state, and in his last birth was clubbed to death by bandits. To the Buddha was imputed the murder of a female devotee of the naked ascetics. This was the result of his having insulted a Paksika Buddha in one of his previous kopa. The Buddha's foot was slightly injured when Devatava made a futile to kill him. This was due to his killing a stepbrother of his previous birth, with the object of appropriating his property. Fourth, defunct karma. Defunct karma means ahosi in Pali. According to the Abhidharma, the term ahosi does not designate a special class of karma, but applies to karma that was due to ripen in either the present existence or the next existence, but did not meet conditions conducive to its maturation. In the case of arahants, all their accumulated karma from the past which was due to ripen in future lives becomes defunct, with their final passing away, with their achievement of non-birth fruit. There are 4 kinds of karma by way of function. According to the Abhidharma, there are 4 kinds of karma by way of function. The first kind of karma is the productive karma. The productive karma is wholesome or unwholesome volition, which produces resultant mental states and karma-born materiality, both at the moment of rebirth linking and during the course of existence. At the moment of conception, productive karma generates the rebirth linking consciousness and the karma-born types of materiality constituting the physical body of the new being. During the course of existence, it produces other resultant siddhas and the continuities of karma-born materiality, such as the sense faculties, sexual determination, and the heart base. Only a karma that has attained the status of a full course of action can perform the function of producing rebirth linking. But all wholesome and unwholesome karmas, without exception, can produce results during the course of existence. Every subsequent birth, according to Buddhism, is conditioned by the good or bad karma, which predominate at the moment of death. This kind of karma is technically known as reproductive karma. The death of a person is merely the temporary end of a temporary phenomenon. Though the present form perishes, another form which is either absolutely the same nor totally different takes place, according to the thought that was powerful at the death moment, since the karmic force which hitherto actuated it is not annihilated with the dissolution of the body. It is this last thought process, which is termed reproductive karma, that determines the state of a person in his subsequent birth. As a rule, the last thought process depends on the general conduct of a person in daily life. In some exceptional cases, perhaps due to favorable or unfavorable circumstances, at the moment of death a good person may experience a bad thought, and a bad person a good one. The future birth will be determined by this last thought process, irrespective of the general conduct. This does not mean that the effects of the past actions are obliterated. They will produce their inevitable results as the appropriate moment. The second kind of karma is the supportive karma. The supportive karma does not gain an opportunity to produce its own result. It is to say, it does have the wholesome or unwholesome nature, but which, when some other karma or productive karma is exercising a productive function, supports it either by enabling it to produce its pleasant or painful results over an extended time without obstruction, or by reinforcing the continuum of aggregates produced by another karma. When through the productive function of wholesome karma, it may cause one to be reborn as a human being, contribute to the extension of one's lifespan, ensure that one is healthy and wealthy, and well provide with the necessities of life. When an unwholesome karma has exercised its productive function, it may cause one to be reborn as an animal, cause a painful disease, and prevent medicines from working effectively, thereby prolonging the disease. The third kind of karma is the obstructive karma. The obstructive karma is a karma which cannot produce its own result, wholesome or unwholesome, but nevertheless obstructs, frustrates, or delays some other karma from producing results, countering its efficacy or shortening the duration of its pleasant or painful results. Even though a productive karma may be strong at a time it is accumulated, an obstructive karma directly opposed to it may counteract it, so that it becomes impaired when producing its results. For example, a wholesome karma tending to produce rebirth in a superior plane of existence may be impeded by an obstructive karma, so that it generates rebirth in a lower plane. A wholesome productive karma tends to produce rebirth among high families, may be impeded by an obstructive karma. Therefore, it may produce rebirth among low families. A wholesome productive karma tends to produce longevity, may be impeded by an obstructive karma. Therefore, life may become shortened. A wholesome productive karma tends to produce beauty, may be impeded by an obstructive karma. Therefore, it may produce a plain appearance. An unwholesome productive karma tends to produce rebirth in the great hells, may be counteracted by an obstructive wholesome karma, and produce rebirth in the minor hells, or among the hungry ghosts. The fourth kind of karma is the destructive karma. A man may, through his productive karma, have been originally destined for a long lifespan, but a destructive karma may arise and bring about a premature death. According to the Abhidharma, a destructive karma is a wholesome or unwholesome karma which supplants other weaker karma, prevents it from ripening, and produces instead its own result. At the time of near death, at first a sign of bad destination may appear, by the power and evil karma, heralding bad rebirth. But then a good karma may emerge, expel the bad karma, and having caused the sign of good destination to appear, a bad karma may suddenly arise, cut off the productive potential of a good karma, and generate rebirth in a woeful realm. There are 4 kinds of karma by order of ripening. According to the Abhidharma, there are 4 kinds of karma by order of ripening. The first kind of karma is the weighty karma. The wholesome or unwholesome karma is a weighty or serious action, or karma of such powerful moral weight that it cannot be replaced by any other karma as the determinant of rebirth. It is so called because it produces its effect for certain, in this life or in the next life. When there is no weighty karma to condition the future birth, a death proximate, asana, karma might operate. On the wholesome side, this karma is the attainment of the jhanas, other than speech and body karmas. On the unwholesome side, it is the 5 heinous crimes together, with a fixed wrong view, that denies the basis for morality, causing the wounding of a Buddha. Devdatta lost his psychic powers, and was born in a woeful state because He wounded the Buddha, maliciously creating a schism in the Sangha. Devadatta, who was reborn in a woeful state, because he caused a schism in the Sangha, murdering an arahant, killing one's own father, and killing one's own mother. As the Buddha remarked, King Ajatasattu would have attained the first state of sainthood if he had not committed parricide. In this case, the powerful evil karma obstructed his spiritual attainment. If someone were to develop the jhanas, and later were to commit one of the heinous crimes, his good karma would be obliterated by the evil deed, and the latter would generate rebirth into a state of misery. For example, the Buddha's ambitious cousin, Devadatta, lost his psychic powers, and was reborn in hell for wounding the Buddha, and causing a schism in the Sangha. If someone were first to commit one of the heinous crimes, he could not later reach a sublime or supramundane attainment, because the evil karma would create an insurmountable obstruction. Thus King Ajatasattu, while listening to the Buddhas speak the Samanaphala Sutra, the discourse on the fruits of recluseship, had all the other conditions for reaching stream entry. But because he had killed his father, King Bimbisara, he could not attain the path and fruit. The second kind of karma is the death proximate karma. The death proximate karma is an action, or a potent karma remembered, or done shortly before death, dying moment. That is, immediately prior to the last nirvana process. For this reason, or it's significant in determining the future birth, in Buddhist countries it is customary to remind a dying person of his good deeds, or to urge him to arouse good thoughts during the last moment of his life. When there is no weighty karma, and a potent death proximate karma is performed, this karma will generally take on the role of generating rebirth. This does not mean that a person will escape the fruits of the other good and bad deeds he has committed during the course of life. When they meet with conditions, these karmas too will produce their due results. The third kind of karma is the habitual karma. The habitual karma is a deed that one habitually or constantly performs, either good or bad. Habits, whether good or bad, become second nature. They more or less tend to mold the character of a person. In the absence of weighty karma and a potent death proximate karma, this type of karma generally assumes the rebirth generative function. The fourth kind of karma is the reserve karma. The reserve karma is any other deed, not included productive, death proximate, destructive karmas, which is potent enough to take on the role of generating rebirth. This type of karma becomes operative when there is no karma of other three types to exercise this function. This is as it were the reserve fund of a particular being, divided into four classifications. First, evil actions which may ripen in the sense sphere. There are 10 evil actions: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, slandering, harsh speech, frivolous talk, covetousness, ill will, and false views. Second, good actions which may ripen in the sense sphere. Third, good actions which may ripen in the realms of form, rupaloka. Fourth, good actions which may ripen in the formless realms, arupaloka. There are 4 kinds of karma by place of ripening. By place of ripening, unwholesome karma, wholesome karma pertaining to the sense sphere, wholesome karma pertaining to the fine material sphere, and wholesome karma pertaining to the immaterial sphere. The first kind of karma is the unwholesome karma. Unwholesome deeds will produce painful results. Unwholesome deeds include the following, but not limited to: greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, doubt, improper views, killing living things, stealing, or taking what is not given, sexual misconduct, and wandering thoughts. According to the path of purification, 10 unwholesome deeds are both unprofitable action and courses that lead to unhappy destinies: killing living things, taking what is not given, sexual misconduct, false speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, gossip, covetousness, ill will, and wrong views. The second kind of karma is the wholesome karma pertaining to the sense sphere. It should be reminded that the realm of passions means the realm of sensuous desire of sex and food. It includes the 6 heavens, the human world, and then hells. All beings in this realm possess 5 aggregates, or panchaskandha. Kusala karma means volitional action that is done in accordance with the Aryan Eightfold Noble Path. So, kusala karma is not only in accordance with the right action, but it is also always in accordance with the right view, right understanding, right speech, right livelihood, right energy, right concentration, and right samadhi. According to the Dharmapada Sutra, verse 183, the Buddha taught not to do evil, to do good, and to purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. Kusala karmas or good deeds will help a person control a lot of troubles arising from his mind. Inversely, if a person does evil deeds, he will receive bad results in this life and the next existence, which are suffering. The third kind of karma is the wholesome karma, pertaining to the fine material sphere. The realm of beauty means the realm of form, or matter. It is above the lust world. It is represented in the Brahmalokas, or the realm of the lesser deities. The fourth kind of karma is the wholesome karma, pertaining to the immaterial sphere. The realm of no beauty, non-form, is the formless, or immaterial realm of pure spirit. There are no bodies, palaces, things, where the mind dwells in mystic contemplation. Its extent is indefinable in the 4 empty regions of spaces. This is the realm of the higher deities.